X-Borg as well. So it's not as messy or as burst and snowball reliant as game number 1. They have more dynamic now to play with. GEEK Fam final pick though, that's the big question. Will the Ruby go roam? Will the Barats go XP or jungle? We still don't know. Imagine they go for Estes now, try to out-heal that consistent damage of Aura and try to overwhelm the Valentina with big ultimates. You want a Death to this Welcome? You want the I'm Offended? No, they go for the Yuzong. That means the Ruby will be roaming. It's Baloy on his signature offended pick, yeah.
Well, of course, the question now for Aura is that yes, they have damage output, but do they have the lockdown necessary to keep the players of GEEK Fam in place? I mean, they have the taunt from the Fredrin and also, you know, the love strings from the strings from Angela. But then again, if compared to like game number 1, they had the lockdown in the final slash, but then the damage was not there. So there's kind of like something that is missing again in the draft of Aura. But you know, I hope they can outfight the players of GEEK Fam.
They have the damage output, but do they have the winning composition right here? Especially again, we talked about quad control and AoE for the side of GEEK Fam. They have an abundance of that. And if you talk about the damage output, in the end of the day, especially in the late game, there's going to be a Claude against a Roger. So we'll have to see how far ahead can Aura pull in the early game, especially when GEEK Fam do not have that global presence on the chip.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, if Aura will be taken down 2-0 in a clean sweep by the Geeks. Will the fire of the X-Borg carry Aura in game number 2 to force out a game number 3 that they desperately need to make it to playoffs? Here it is in the land of Dawn for game numero 2.
If Aura does lose, oh, okay, yeah, we in big trouble. Okay, I was about to say, if Aura lose, they have to place their bets on other teams also losing and winning at the same time. But Yawi almost gets taken down from the damage dealt by the players of GEEK Fam.
And look at the difference in priority here. Before we saw that it's all about the roamers disturbing the jungle path and the jungle clear. But now look at how active both roamers are, trying to secure some prio in the mid lane right there in order for the mid lane to really participate in those fights, to be able to invade as well. Look at the rest of the emblems by GamesMax. You can see Chidera still on the Tenacity, but he has that common emblem, so that sustainability will help a bit when you're dealing with Kabuki. With the Weakness Finder and Master Assassin, he will supposedly have the stronger laning phase, unless the rest of the team can really try and back him up. But you have to watch for Baloyski here, who has the poise to pull yourself together. He is absolutely looking for more flickers to try and make more flashy plays for his team.
And now in the first minute of the game, not as much action as we saw, you know, a full invade in game number 1 with the better mid control of GEEK Fam. This time it's a bit more equal in that mid lane where they can actually withstand it. And as you can see from the stats, Gugun still standing at a very good positive win rate on that Brethren. The control for the XP starts now to set up for the first neutral objective. GEEK Fam is positioned very aggressively.
They're just enticing the players of GEEK Fam to take this fight so they can progress towards the turtle later on. But, you know, GEEK Fam, they are not taking the bait, and Baloyski will be there taunted. Turtle could be the next main target. The Black Dragon form towards the backline of Aura. Gugun again getting caught up. The Netherrealm is connecting towards the players of GEEK Fam, and Ray gets the turtle. The last Insanity will not be able to get the kill. Also, the Heart Guard will help Gugun traverse his way towards the backline of GEEK Fam, but no bodies taken. But the neutral to the pockets of GEEK Fam.
Just Turtle taken by GEEK Fam, still a big win for them. They need this snowball building. Arashi, what do you think?
I think that this X-Borg, the longer the game goes, will be a massive problem. They want to all be that clumped up. We saw in that exactly in that fight how clumped up the fights can really be. You can barely see past the players' HP bars. And Aran got a big last Insanity. And the longer the game goes, the more damage can be output by this X-Borg when your team is focused on the other damage dealers. So I think for GEEK, during the mid game, they will have to try and really find other ways to really get ahead right here instead of just relying on the Netherrealm. Because again, it has been matched. I think it has to be in the playmaking potential to try and find something before the turtle, because that is where Yawi can't really be as active, and technically that takes him out of the equation. Whereas in the turtle fight, that's where the hard guard, as you can see earlier, was a massive problem in them trying to shut down and zone away Gugun from the neutral objective.
And now they continue their path, that snowballing path of theirs, towards the top side of the jungle. Gugun, wow, invaded. A bit of a deja vu moment from game number 1 where Gugun was able to get completely neutralized a few levels below of Ray. And Beloyski still standing at that 100% win rate on that Ruby too. They're on their comfort picks, but hey, fun fact, a boy has actually found not a lot of success on this Faramis pick that used to be a signature, standing at 3 and 5 right now on this record. Not characteristic for a boy.
Used to be one of his strongest heroes. You know, he's well known for the playmaking heroes. You know, Navaria, Valentina, and the Faramis. Really helps him boost utility of his teammates as well. But now, the turtle is going to be the subject of taking Beloyski. He fails it, but the taunt now from Gugun. The Black Dragon form is there. Yaoi channels his hard guard to protect the players of Aura eSports. Again, a change in Netherrealm will be there. The taunt again towards Luke. Luke will be able to run away from that altercation, but a boy steps forward with the Shadow Stampede. Will not be able to take any of the members of Aura. Again, a stalemate in this turtle dance for both teams.
The battle of sustain is still happening, Beloy!
A pull towards Gugun. Gugun will be deleted. He won't! The Appraisal's Wrath is there, and the damage follow-up comes through. Kabuki looking to get his fangs on the backs of GEEK Fam and Aura eSports. They chase down a boy next on the chopping block. Gugun will be able to get the turtle. No, he won't. It's Kabuki getting the kill. And next they will corral towards the turtle. A 4-0 start for Aura eSports.
Gugun might not have been able to secure the first neutral objective with his retreat, but he does so here with a massive Appraiser's Wrath to turn the tides of what looked to be a complete GEEK teamfight victory. And now they get the free neutral objective. Ray's behind, and Gugun wants to go for more. Wait, is this too greedy?
He could be overcommitting this, but the hard guard will save him. Re-engaging towards Luke. The Appraiser's Wrath is there. Last Insanity. The damage comes through, but the Netherrealm will save him. The Blazing Duet from Chadera towards the backline. No, it forces them back. Luke on a sliver of HP. And they disengage as Aura eSports again winning that battle of sustain.
Battle of sustain and battle of damage output as well. And Gugun is not done. This is what this man does when you give him the advantage on a winning situation right here, on a hero with a lot of escapability and sustain. He's just going in again and again. He's trying to assert the dominance and get, again, that high neutral objective rate for his team.
Game fact, presented by our new application GoPay. Up until week 9, Gugun remains the player who has secured the most turtles and lords in MPL Indonesia Season 13 with 62 turtles and 46 lords. This guy is an objective maniac. And so far this game, it's 1-1. He loses in that retreat battle, the first turtle, but then he just swings his sword the second time around. Man, GEEK Fam, technically forward is scaling into the mid-game. We should see Aura continue the snowball. They have a Roger, they have a composition that's really, really good in that mid-game, and they're technically already doing that. Yehezkiel is doing a good job at just stopping that turret from being taken, but in the end, they will have to let it go. A bit too risky for him to stay there and to actually battle it out. Arashi, 7th minute of the game, coming into the third turtle. What do GEEK Fam need to do to turn the tides again?
I think GEEK should really avoid a lot of these big fights, but look at Luke.
Luke almost solo killed by Kabuki, just hiding in the bush. He will pop the BDF and run away.
Yeah, for GEEK, I think they have to just go and go for these trades like we just saw earlier.
Beloyski with a pull and the kill. Chadera gets Yehezkiel with the help of the Blazing Duet, but their Appraiser's Wrath is there from Gugun. Again, popping up Netherrealm from a boy. They will sustain the damage, but Kabuki with the mega kill. He is hungry. There's just Predator in the building, and Aura again bouncing forward with Kabuki. GEEK Fam, we're testing their limits, and their limit is Kabuki. But Kabuki might bit off more than he could chew. He won't. He will push back and disengage.
It's a 3-for-2 in favor of GEEK Fam in terms of members, but those HP bars tell a different story. GEEK Fam are the ones forced back. Did Aura win that?
I think overall, the goal difference really shows that, in a way, GEEK did benefit from that. But Aura is showing again that even though they start off the fight on the back foot, losing a member, they can still hold their own against GEEK Fam right now. So the gold and the early game pressure is still very much utilized by Aura. With the War Ice finish for Aran right here, he's going to be a big problem, especially for Chidera. Chidera does have the sprint to try and really maneuver around the battlefield. He's only on 2 items right here though. So his damage will take a bit longer to really ramp up. And with the Flash of the Oasis completed for Yaoi, this means that again, in a full-on collision, for now, Aura will absolutely still have the pressure.
A mid-lane brawl will ensue as Chidera pops up the blazing duet, but it won't catch anyone. And Aura, they're just playing the waiting game. This could be the next objective being contested. Black Dragon form popped up now. Gogun, the subject of that take, and he will jump to the Lord Pit. But again, the Netherrealm is there to save him. The Hard Guard will equip him again and just sustain the players of Aura. But Retribution is there to get the Lord. Kabuki gets the kill. So does Gogun. And Luke, stuck in a rock in a hard place, will jump forward. The Petrify flickers away from Aran and Gogun. Double kill secured. Aura, double-digit kills, but they lost the Lord. But does it matter?
The neutral objective maniac says no to the neutral objectives. We'll just take the fights. Damn the Lord. They win out a massive team fight, still holding on to their lead and utilizing this mid-game power spike. But hold on, they're looking for more turrets.
But it's a great move from GEEK Fam to force a fight right there when they know that their Haskill was a bit too far to really participate immediately. They did lose in a team fight, but the fact that they did get the Lord means that they can stall this game out for that much longer, and they denied Aura from a chance to crack open the base at the 10th minute of the game, buying a bit more time. But Valoisky,
He'll play again with the blazing duet, but Haskill saved with the Hard Guard, and this could be the turnaround from Gogun. He's looking for Valoisky. Where are you running, little man? Gogun will lead the charge forward. The taunt connects towards Valoisky, and Kabuki is there to dish out the damage with the BDF again, coming in from Luke, trying to disrupt the fight, turning it into two dragons in the Land of Dawn. But thankfully though, for Aura, they will disperse, and that is just another taunt.
Phew. What another crazy skirmish from what looked to be a GEEK Fam pick-off attempt to then an Aura chase, to then a GEEK Fam disengage, and now both teams respecting each other, backs away. That was a risky fight to take, man, but hey, look at the timers. It was a risk that they can take. Nothing to fully punish on both these sides. Even if they lost one member, it would have still been okay. Kabuki though, 6-0-3, that's a GDS, Arashi.
Well, that's already 4 items in his inventory, and you're seeing why it's so difficult right here for Luke on the Yuuzong to really have that much impact. Early on, a lot of his Furious Dice were just maneuvered out of, and he's forced to use them at all times of the fight instead of being the main engager. And now, when he is still flying around in the Black Dragon form, Kabuki immediately just chunks him down in a matter of 4 or 5 hits. So for him to really be able to even have a say in these fights, he needs a couple more items to at least be able to withstand some of the damage, and maybe then he'll be able to threaten the backline a bit more, and GEEK Fam can have at least some way to deter Aura from just walking forward, knowing that they have more damage output, that they have this mid-game power spike, at least for the next neutral objective in 20 seconds.
So mid-game still in the hands of Aura. Your mid-game could be in the hands of yourself, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go and take the Exorcist bundle later on for skins, because that will definitely increase your level of play. It does increase mine, you know. Maybe that's placebo, but I think it's the skins, obviously. I think for players as well. Anyways, let's get back into the game. Mid-game power spike, obviously still in the hands of the Flaming Dragons, but it's only a 2,000 gold lead. Are they comfortable with this? I don't think so. That quad is still scaling very slowly, but very surely, and he's building up to be a threat. Look at him.
Bam, looking for a rebuttal. Chidera almost get caught in the process. Good. Again, stepping forward like a brave man he is. And the Lord, again, just in the middle of a tug of war between 2 angry teams.
And look at the macro play from Aura though, sending the Angela, probably gonna get a neutral objective here. GEEK might be forced to try and go for a bit of a pickoff. 4 items in the inventory of Chidera. He has a Wind of Nature as well, so he has a lot of damage. Can he output it in time though?
BDF popped up, and the Daytona's welcome towards Aran. Will he be the next main course? Retribution strikes again, but then now the Black Dragon form has been gone, and the realm popped up. and Chadera is able to escape, but Luke dead in the hands of the Appraiser's Wrath, and the last Insanity will look for a boy, fishing him down, and again Kabuki jumping in, an angry werewolf is in the building, and that werewolf is Kabuki Aura, losing the Lord, but winning the kills.
You may have clipped the dragon's wings, but even on its feet, it can still burn you down with its flames. The dragons look for one last push, but they can't. They need to deal with the Lord. They need to deal with these waves. GEEK fam, they're losing heavily in these team fights, but they are successful at prolonging the game. 14 minutes in, when does that power spike hit for GEEK fam?
I think it hits at about now. I think they're just waiting really for a boy to really start ramping up in his damage output and in trying to find situations where they can be the ones with more of an advantage. Look at the gold difference right here. Even though they lost multiple members, it's still only at 2K. And if you look specifically at the gold lane, Chadera is matching Kabuki in the gold and in the damage as well. Look at that. Massive shred.
The late game potential the Claude is showing. You can see the items, even the Malefic Roar done. Poor Claude. That's the main, that's the tip of the spear for GEEK fam. Now they need to be able to land that spear into the dragon, stab him, and take them out, because even with that power spike, the AoE that Aura have is ridiculous. You cannot write them off.
A lot of times, of course, GEEK fam being trapped in the AoE, and the fact that Gugun is just so brave to step forward and tank the damage, but you have to be careful. Chadera, time and time again, has been the damage dealer for GEEK fam. And the fact that he has 4 items, or full items so far, he's just power farming his way towards the late game. And if GEEK fam are able to weather the storm, they might have a shot at turning everything around.
And you have to remember that a boy has a bit of an advantage. He has the passive, right? That time and time again, GEEK fam have very sneakily used to get an advantage. They'll sacrifice a boy to get someone else, and if the death timers are long enough, it becomes absolutely worth it. But of course, in any real fight right now, for now, until the gold lead and EXP lead really equalizes, GEEK fam still have to rely on Beloyski to try and find the catch. And with more items in the inventory of Chadera and a boy, there's a chance that a big I'm offended can be translated directly into a pickoff. We'll see for now, because of course the S skill does not have to purify, only Kabuki has a way to deal with it. And I think GEEK fam will make their move right before the Lord does spawn, because they do know that, of course, Aura are going to be banking on Yawi to make that macro play once again.
This is still so scary, man. Like, you take a look at the scoreboard and you think, this is a stop for Aura, but then you take a look at the gold lead, and it's 1,700. Aran!
Aran pulled into the chaotic team that is GEEK fam, but that's just a taunt. Send a message towards Aura to be careful approaching this Lord Pit.
Oh man, that's his entire Faraga armor taken out. He will be able to get that back. Obviously, we can just burn some of these creeps in the jungle, but back to the point that I was making. 14-3, 2,000 gold lead only by Aura. This is, if you wanted to say what game reflects GEEK fam the best, this is probably it!
BDF now towards the backline. Chadera just spinning around with the blazing duet, but the hard gun is there. Aran gets Ray. The backline though, Gugun gets another kill as well. A boy is very low. He is gonna be chopped down. He won't. He's still surviving, but legendary for Kabuki. Chadera is able to run away. No, he won't. A wipeout as the red flaming dragons spew out their flames.
The dragon beaten down to the ground with no wings left, clipped down, but they flame through. They're gonna go for it!
This is the end. The crystal next on their eyes. A boy just evaporate, and Aura eSports take flight. Not in the skies, but they're slowly ascending. Game 3 next in the cards.
The tip of the spear, Chadera, got melted down by the flames of the dragons.